A ban on bump stocks is unconstitutional. Bump stocks make a semi-automatic rifle fire more like a machine gun, but the justices ruled that bump stocks themselves do not qualify as machine guns under federal law. The Trump administration banned the devices after bump stocks were used in America's deadliest mass shooting in 2017 in Las Vegas. That gunman killed 60 people and injured more than 500. Now, in a 6-3 opinion authored by Justice Clarence Thomas, the justices say that ban was unlawful. ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Moran is outside the Supreme Court, and ABC News senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer joins me as well for more. Terry, this was a gun case, but not a Second Amendment case. Walk us through the legal argument here.
That's a great distinction. So this case has to do with the law regulating machine guns and whether or not it applies to bump stocks. That law regulating machine guns, written in 1934, and it defined them very specifically, that a machine gun under that law is a weapon that can fire at a high rate of fire with one single function of the trigger. And the bump stock, the court says in this 6-3 decision, all the conservatives lined up against the liberals, is different. Justice Clarence Thomas, writing for the court, saying that in an opinion that is replete with the diagrams of the inside of a firearm, that a machine gun operates differently inside than a bump stock. That a machine gun literally is, you just pull the trigger and hold it and out come a torrent of bullets. And a bump stock requires the manipulation of the rifle using the recoil of the rifle in order to achieve a very high rate of fire. That difference, the conservatives say, is enough to strike down this regulation by the ATF and return bump stocks to legality. They were rendered unlawful by the ATF after that awful Las Vegas shooting back in 2017, when a man using a weapon equipped with a bump stock killed 60 people at a concert, and the ATF decided at that point that bump stocks should be illegal. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have purchased them, and after this opinion, they're once again legal in the United States.
And Devin, you actually interviewed the creator of the bump stock just a few months ago. What did he tell you about why he created it in the first place?
Yeah, Jeremiah Cottle was not part of this case, Diane, but he's the man behind the bump stock, invented it in 2009, won approval from the Obama administration's ATF to sell it. And that's why, as Terry said, more than 700,000 hit the streets and homes and backyard shooting ranges over these last 8 years. And he told me that he invented the device as a safety device to make it easier for recreational shooters to shoot from the hip, to mimic a machine gun. He insists it didn't meet the definition, as the court did find today. And we asked him to demonstrate it for us. As the ATF regulation has been on the books, there aren't many out there that have been allowed to be displayed, but we got a first-hand look ourselves. And here's what a bump stock actually does and how he says it's not a machine gun. Take a look.
You pull the trigger, it fires one time, it recoils, and you pull the trigger again to fire the next one. What my product does is just allows you to do that very quickly.
Your critics say that that's violating the spirit of the law, that even though that may not technically be a machine gun, it certainly does look like one.
Well, it sounds like Congress needs to rewrite the definition of a machine gun, doesn't it?
Court said today, Justice Samuel Alito, in a concurring opinion, Diane, said, as distasteful as these devices may be to a lot of people, Congress has to go back to the drawing board and can write it into the law. So Cottle is celebrating this victory along with Michael Cargill, who is the gun shop owner and plaintiff. Although Cottle tells me, Diane, that he plans to sell his business now that these are legal again, and expects to make $10-12 million with the sale.
So, Terry, the court is saying Congress can now write a law banning bump stocks. Is there an appetite in Congress for that? What are the chances of that happening?
It's an election year, Diane. I don't think there's any appetite in Congress to tackle what would be a very significant gun safety, gun control measure. And now that bump stocks have essentially become a kind of poster child for the freedoms that people enjoy with their weapons, I think it'll be very hard to get Republicans on board as they were earlier after the Uvalde shooting, when a different bill passed, and back in 2017 when the ATF under President Trump passed this regulation that the Supreme Court struck down today. It would require probably another atrocity.
So, Devin, does the Biden administration have any recourse at this point? Anything else they can do to try to get any restrictions on bump stocks?
There's not really any quick answer to this, Diane. In fact, gun safety groups that had been pushing for this for some time are saying it really, the ball is in Congress's court right now. And as Terry said, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any immediate action there. So this is really, an issue that's going to be put to the voters. Gun rights and gun violence have typically ranked in the top voting issues for voters, although they fade when there hasn't been an atrocity, as Terry said, that's front of mind. So we do know that the Biden campaign is already responding to this ruling. Democrats are already out talking about this, and one leading liberal gun safety group, Diane, just put out a statement saying that this decision has invited more mass shootings for the nation. Diane?
All right, Terry Moran, Devin Dwyer, thank you both.